Hello, goodness. We're back from the international break, and Arsenal host Nottingham Forest at the Emirates this Saturday. Forest has sacked their manager, Nuno, and brought in Ange Postecoglou. I thought we had gotten to see the last of him, but no way. He's coming back. And guess what? He's coming back to the Emirates, first game back. And yeah, that would be interesting. But Arsenal players in the international, Noni, Rice, Ødegaard, banging in goals, scoring, touch wood, no injuries. So we can turn the Emirates into a fortress, right? Can we actually do this? But I want to preview this game. I want to predict the 11 and why this match is so important before our next Champions League game. Right, guys, before we go into anything, I do want you to grab that subscribe button, hit the like as well, and the notification button as well, so that as I put up more content, guys, you guys can get to see what I put up and also be part of this community as well. I do want to appreciate all of you that keep watching the channel. And this thing cannot grow, this thing cannot be what it is without you guys. So I do appreciate that 100%. But before I actually go into that Nottingham Forest game, I do want to reflect back at the transfer window that Arsenal has had, because I think that most Arsenal fans will agree that the transfer window started very slowly, and then it picked up race, and then it really peaked, right? For Arsenal fan, that really peaked. So I do want to sort of look at everything that we've done in the transfer window and kind of give a little bit of a rating because everybody loves a bit of a rating. So I want to do that. I want to look at the transfers. I want to look at whether we've hit, whether we've done, we missed a few. So let's get into it, right? I'm going to start with the big one, right? Did Arsenal make enough big impact in that transfer window? I was talking to a Liverpool fan, and of course, they're all at the top of the world. They just won the Premier League, so nothing can go wrong at Liverpool. And he was talking about the fact that Arsenal just bought a lot of quantity, while Liverpool splashed the cash on the quality players. So let's get into it. Gyökeres, I think this is the one that a lot of fans are really, I mean, rival fans are really hoping that doesn't work well so that they can also turn around and say, I told you so. Because it's been a indifferent start. Gyökeres, Old Trafford, got a lot of criticism. Leeds, he scored 2 goals, but everybody was like, well, it's just Leeds. And then Liverpool, it was as if he was the only striker that did not perform. But people are quietly not mentioning the fact that Ekitike got as much service and as much productivity as Gyökeres did. But I think people are looking at that and saying, well, this is why Arsenal is not going to win the league, which is absolutely crazy because last season everyone was saying Arsenal needed a striker. And now that Arsenal has got a striker, people are saying this is the reason why Arsenal are not going to win the league. So, I mean, which one is it, right? Okay, Zubri Mende comes in. Noggin is coming, but he hasn't really seen game time. So it's a little bit, and sometimes he hasn't even made the squad, even though I have to say that the last couple of games he has been injured. So I think that counts for something. So it's really going to be interesting when we go into this fixture and we look at the team that is actually potentially going to play. But hey, Liverpool added Isak, and I think that's where everybody's looking at what sort of signing that is, considering all the riches that they have, the sort of players that have come in, and the start that they've had to the season. So people are thinking you put Isak there, that automatically means that Liverpool are going to win the league. The funny thing is that the Premier League doesn't work like that. Generally, it doesn't work like that. I look at last season, Arsenal lost the same amount of games as Liverpool did. The big difference was the amount of draws. I think Liverpool drew like 9 games, Arsenal drew like 14. Ridiculous. That's like 5 more games. Those 5 more games that Arsenal drew were 5 more wins that Liverpool had. And that is huge. 5 games, we're talking about 15 points. That's a lot. It's a lot. So So I think that for me, if I want to grade Arsenal transfer window overall, I'll probably say it's a B. I wouldn't say it's an A. I wouldn't say it's anything less than a B. And it's a B because I think that Arsenal this season would be judged not so much as the players that have come in, because I don't think that no matter the players that Arsenal brought in this season, that people will be looking at them any differently. I think those that have made up their mind that Arsenal can't get over the line, would always think that Arsenal can't get over the line. So until you do it, there is nothing for people to hold on to. So that's always going to be the case. Right. Okay. So I'm looking at the three games that we've had. First three games, new boys betting in. Man United away, gritty, 1-0, grown up performance. Leeds, rhythm, flashes, goals. Liverpool lost to a wonder strike. Structure was intact, but we missed a little bit of the edge. So with all of those signings that played, Gyökeres, I'll probably give him a B. Zubimendi was an A minus, I would say. He played well. He was quiet, but he played well. Then let's move on, right? So got a little bit reflection the transfer window, but what I really want to talk about is this game against Nottingham Forest, guys. International break. I've talked about Noni Madueke. He found a net for England. That will boost his confidence. And everyone is on the up and up about Noni Madueke. And I like that. I really like that. I like the fact that when he signed for Arsenal, there were a lot of people chirping, talking about the fact that he's not good. Why are we getting him and all of that? And, not being a hypocrite, I was one of those that I wasn't too critical, but I was sort of a little bit cautious about the player coming in. But I think what he's doing is quietening everybody. He's had three games that has actually looked very good for Arsenal, created a lot of threat as well. So I'm happy for him. I expect him to continue to do big things for Arsenal. Declan Rice, solid, scored a goal at international. I think we want our players to be hitting form at just the right time. And I feel like both Declan Rice and Ødegaard, who was a little bit of a doubt about his fitness, he played well for his country. I think he assisted 2 goals, scored one. Well, that just bodes well. We need those two players to be informed because Ødegaard is the person that needs things around. So international break for us, guys. We've always been caused by injuries, but this time around, it's just goals, and I absolutely love it. So let's look at the Forest context, right? There's been manager changes, right? Nuno in Ange's style, attacking, high risk, positive football. He's only been a few days in charge, so I think that there would be an adaptation period. I don't believe that he'll be able to convey everything that he wants with the players. Now, I don't know how true this is, but there've been stories around people being completely shocked. But hey, these guys are players, right? For them, all they want to do is perform. So I take those stories with a pinch of salt. The manager bounce is real. It is a real thing. And you see players who maybe not have been given the chance to perform want to show up for the new manager to hope that they can start to perform on the pitch and also in the team as well. And the players who've been selected, they want to stay in the squad because the new manager is gathering intel about all the players. So I think they're going to be up for it. I think there's going to be energy. They're going to want to go at Arsenal. So we need to make sure that we take advantage of this game. I think this game, in the first 20 minutes, we need to score, but I digress. I think they're danger men, right? You've got Morgan Gibbs, right? I think he's going to be a danger for us. I think keeping him was one of the key things that Forest did. And Chris Wood's been banging in the goals. So he's going to be a threat as well. So we've got to see what Ange brings to Forest. But this is at the Emirates, guys. Can we be a fortress at the Emirates? We only lost 2 games at the Emirates last season. I think we can do that. And these are the sort of games that we win if we're really serious about the title this season. So For me, my Arsenal 11, if we talk a little bit about that, who are the players that we think are going to play? I think Raya in goal. Start up there. Raya plays in front of goal. And then the back four for me, you got to have Timber. I expect him to play. Gabriel, I expect him to play. Calafiori, I expect him to play. And I expect Mosquera to start this game. I think he came into the Liverpool game and he was seamless, smooth. He just transitioned into that back line, kept Ekitike quiet. And I think that we've got the right mix to quench whatever threat that Nottingham Forest would bring. I look at our squad and I think our defense considered just one goal, a wonder strike by Soboslai. I said he probably never scored that kind of goal again. And I know people have said, oh, he scores goals like that, but that goal was perfect. Hidden crossbar goals in. So I like our defense. I think that's the defense that starts. Ben White, I've seen in the pictures, he's been training as well. So I don't know if Mikel Arteta want to start him right away because Timbers, he's been playing so well. And I think he has done nothing to mean that he doesn't play that game. And Fury has started strongly as well. So I expect him to play. This is going to be a season where everyone is going to do their path. And I think that people are going to have to be patient. The ones that are not getting into the team have got to be patient, but be ready to come in and support the team. So that's the back four. In the midfield, you got Zubimendi and Rice. I think those first two go in. Now, you've got Ødegaard has got to go in. I feel like with the international break, with the way that he played, I think you want to continue that good form. He's got that taste right now. So I just want him to go into that game. So you've got Ødegaard, Zubimendi, and Rice. Now, I think the question really is, what do you do about Merino? Hat trick in the international game, very good player. I just don't think he starts. I think not this game. I think this game is another game where you want to go in, insert a little bit of confidence in the crowd. We're playing at home. Let's get another 4-3 goals in this game. Send everybody happy. And then you build into the Champions League game, which I'm going to talk about why this game is so important. So that's the midfield. Now, the front three, this is where everything is going to depend on Arsenal. This is where, for me, I think that we change the mood, that taste from that Liverpool defeat, and then we march into the Champions League game and the game against City with a lot of confidence because you don't want to lose two games in a row or draw, in this game for whatever reason. And for us are the kind of team that can make things a little bit sticky. So no Saka on the right. So I expect Noni Madueke to slot into that right-hand side. No questions there. I think that's a given. Then up front, you have Gyökeres. He's got to start. Arteta has shown that when he buys a big player like that, he will play him into form no matter what. And we saw that when Havertz got into Arsenal. No matter what anybody was saying, Arteta kept playing him because from a coaching point of view, it's not 1 or 2, 3 games that decides whether a striker is for real or not, especially when you spend that amount of money and you have that much belief in him. But Gyökeres is very key for Arsenal that he does well. So I expect him to start. No questions there. Then the left-hand side. There's a part of me that thinks that Mikel Arteta might still play Martinelli. And I know what most people would say. I know what most people would feel about that. Why don't you start Eze? I really feel that I've been brought in to play more of a 10 rather than that left-hand side. But I think it would be great to see Eze start. It would be great. I would love to see Eze start on that left-hand side. I think for me, it really doesn't matter where Eze plays, right? I think you play Eze anywhere in that front line, just getting games because we're going to need him in Champions League. We're going to need him in the games that are coming. So I want to get him more integrated, feel part of the group. 6-7 million, you've got to play him. Or you could play Eze on the right, play Eze on the left or on the right. I don't care where he plays. I think he must start. That I would declare that would be my lineup. I just have a sneaky feeling that Mikel Arteta might want to stick with Martinelli. Well, it really depends on how he's showing up in training. And then we got impact subs. You got Waneri, I saw Max Doman playing as well. So I expect him to get a couple of minutes as well. And then Trossard. And then Merino can come in if things are a little bit sticky. Just depends on how the games go. So, guys, that's my 11 prediction. Um, Home record is strong at the Emirates. I want the Emirates to be a fortress. I want people to come to the Emirates and have that same sort of fear and dread like it is when you go to Anfield. Just something there. And of course, the media perpetuates that, well. And yeah, Anfield was no less or more a fortress than Arsenal was last season. That's the truth. People would just, look at it and like, Emirates is not a place that people are worried to come to. I want that to be the place that people are worried to come to. And strong home starts really, really important because what it does is that it equals momentum in the Champions League. And psychologically, right, teams must feel that the Emirates is a no-go zone. That's what I've been saying. And if you just look at it, in the last 5 years, English clubs who've lost the league game before a Champions League fixture have just won 36% of their group matches. So I think momentum matters. I think it is important that we win this game, not just for the 3 points, because the 3 points is everything. But this Champions League, you want to start strong. You want to get all the points that you need early on so that in the later part, you don't have to depend on those games. Because in Champions League format now, you're playing games well into January now, for just the group stages. So, me, with this new format, I want this thing wrapped up in Christmas so that we can really focus on the Premier League because Christmas has always been a tricky time for us. I don't want to think too much ahead, but it's got to be in the minds of the coaching. Got to learn last season in terms of what you do, how Arsenal moves forward. So, guys, what do you think so far? How important is freedom, transition into Europe? You don't want to be like City, it stumbled after league defeats, midweek. So prediction time, guys. What do I think is going to happen at the Emirates? I think that this would be a game that would start off a little bit like the way that Arsenal started against Liverpool. Nottingham Forest are going to want to hunker down and defend as much as they can. Don't see Postecoglou making them go a high line because that's not what they're used to. Even though the stats suggest that Nottingham Forest has been playing slightly differently this season. But let's say we start off very well. I think that first goal coming in is going to be important, but we might have to be patient a little bit. I think Gyökeres scores again. I think Ødegaard chips in with a goal. And maybe we get a goal from Eze. So I'm counting at least 3 goals this game. So, hey guys, what's your prediction, right? Forest get that new manager bounce at the Emirates, are strong at home, guys. So this was preview into that Nottingham Forest game. I'm really excited, guys, because I think that we've got a chance to really silence a lot of people performance in the next couple of games. And the international break is gone. It's time for the business in league. So this is why I think put that into the comments as well. Let's have your say. Do you think about that game at the Emirates? Who do you think is going to make the difference? I want to hear from all of you guys. Looking forward to the Champions League game as well. So I'll do a quick preview that game before the Champions League goes out. And of course, the Pavilion debrief. Like I say, win, lose, or draw, we will come in and we'll talk about what we saw in the game. What were the 3 things that we liked? What were the 3 things that we didn't like? So I appreciate all of you sticking with me for that. And thank you all for watching the channel. Appreciate all of you. See you at the next Gunnar Pavilion.